Today I will talk about the miracle of Aloha Flight 243. It was a case of explosive depressurization, and my fellow pilot managed to land the plane with great difficulty. Let's see what happened and subscribe, like and share the videos. Welcome on board and activate your seat belts, because a depressurization can happen. On a sunny afternoon of April 28, 1988, Aloha Airlines Flight 243 took off from Hilo on the Big Island of Hawaii, bound for Honolulu. On board were 89 passengers and 6 crew members. It was a routine inter-island flight operated by a Boeing 737-200, a widely used aircraft for regional aviation. Nothing suggested that this would become one of the most dramatic flights in commercial aviation history. With 19 years of service and over 89,000 flight cycles, an extraordinarily high number for any aircraft, the airplane had gone through countless takeoffs and landings, especially on short flights in tropical, salty conditions that accelerate corrosion. Despite signs of metal fatigue, the aircraft was still in active service. At around 1:48 p.m., cruising at 24,000 feet over Maui, the routine flight was suddenly shattered. A loud metallic crack resounded through the fuselage, followed by an explosive decompression. Without warning, a large portion of the roof, from the cockpit to just before the wings, ripped away. The sky opened above the passengers, exposing them directly to the howling winds of the stratosphere. The scene was unimaginable. The fuselage was torn apart. Seats were ripped from their anchors. Papers, personal belongings, and pieces of the aircraft flew violently in every direction. Flight attendant Clarabelle Lansing, who had been walking down the aisle at the time, was instantly sucked out of the aircraft and vanished into the ocean. Her body was never recovered. Inside the cockpit, the pilots fought the chaos. Captain Robert Skornsheimer and First Officer Mimi Tompkins remained calm in the face of disaster. Visibility was poor, the noise was deafening, but the aircraft was still controllable. With skill and composure, they began an emergency descent toward Kalui Airport on Maui. Despite the massive structural damage, the core integrity of the aircraft remained just enough to stay in the air. The cabin had completely depressurized, putting everyone at risk of hypoxia. Oxygen masks deployed, but many were unreachable due to the partial destruction of the cabin. Still, passengers remained calm, many holding hands as the aircraft plunged rapidly towards safety. On the ground, emergency crews braced for the worst. They had received limited information about a distressed aircraft, but weren't prepared for what they would witness. When the Boeing 737 landed successfully, despite missing a significant portion of its fuselage, shock and disbelief rippled through the airport. It was nothing short of a miracle orchestrated by the steady hands of the pilots and the bravery of the remaining crew, especially flight attendant Michelle Honda, who, despite her injuries, continued assisting passengers throughout the ordeal. Of the 95 people on board, only one life was lost, that of flight attendant Lansing. Around 65 passengers were injured, some seriously, but all were rescued and treated. The torn fuselage and images of the shredded plane shocked the world. Aloha Airlines Flight 243 instantly became a priority investigation for the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB. The investigation revealed that the cause of the accident was linked to metal fatigue and intergranular corrosion. The salty Hawaiian climate, combined with frequent pressurization and depressurization cycles, had caused microscopic cracks in the rivets and joints of the fuselage. Over time, these tiny faults expanded until they caused catastrophic failure. Visual inspections had failed to detect the advanced degree of structural wear. The accident brought about serious reforms in global aviation. Structural inspection procedures were reviewed, especially for aircraft with high flight cycles. New crack detection methods, such as eddy current and ultrasonic testing, were more rigorously implemented. Additionally, stricter adherence to cycle limits became a priority for airlines. Aloha Flight 243 also became a powerful example of the importance of crew training. The pilot's response to the emergency was widely praised and later studied in aviation courses. The cabin crew was also honored for their heroism in a situation of unimaginable terror. Today, the Aloha 243 accident is remembered not only as a tragedy, but also as a testimony to the resilience of commercial aircraft, the professionalism of flight crews, and the constant need for vigilance in aircraft maintenance. A tear in the sky that will never be forgotten, and one that changed aviation forever.